You are a middle-aged man with a stable income as an electrician who has been cheated on by their spouse. You met them in university, and after many years of being married, they left you. But you did not lose custody of your children aged 12 and 10. You begin to wonder why you bothered when some lucky person just gained the love of your life without trying. There's no need for the context, but why not? This house regrets the glorification of hard work and believes that luck is a more important aspect of life, and we regret not raising our children to think in the same way. Before we start off today's debate, I would like to give a big shout out to Charlotte Urban Gardner, Carol, Aiden, and Booleen for subscribing. The first speaker today is Kaiden Chan of the Affirming team. You may begin when you're ready. An indisputable fact is that luck does exist, and we firmly regret, on the affirming side of the house, not raising our children aged 12 and 10 to think in the same way we do now. Luck is an important aspect of life, and it should be much more than acknowledged, but not completely relied on. Now, the first substantive point I would like up to bring within today's debate is that relying on hard work and the glorification of hard work has created an extremely toxic work ethic within today's society that has caused many problems for ages of all kinds. The second substantive point I would like to bring up is glorification should have been an understanding of importance. And my third substantive point is that this has put an immense stress on the younger generations, which then affects our futures. The burdens for today's debate. On our side of the house, we must prove that we should rely more on our luck as it is an important aspect of our life, rather than continue glorifying hard work, and we firmly regret this decision in raising our child in such a way. On the opposing side of the house, they must prove the opposite. I start with my first substantive point. It is extremely unhealthy for people to constantly believe that the only way that they are going to achieve success in life is through hard work. But the fact is, there are so many other variables that can affect their success that aren't linked to hard work at all. It is simply luck. A good way to look at this is if there are two extremely hard-working people and there's only one job. The amount of hard work you have done doesn't affect the amount of hard work the other person has done. And if you get the job and the other person didn't, that may just be unlucky. But the person who didn't get the job would wonder, why didn't I get the job? I worked extremely hard. If we continue to raise our children and we don't change our ways, then we're going to see the fact that so many people are going to work extremely hard and be extremely dedicated to whatever they do and be very disappointed, critically affecting their mental health when they don't achieve their desired success. And it is for this reason that we regret wholeheartedly for not teaching our children to accept and realize the importance of luck in our lives. When people become frustrated with why they haven't achieved success, even though they've done extremely hard work, it's very confusing for them. They've been told their entire lives that if they work hard, if they study hard, they're going to become whatever they achieve. Anything is possible. But the fact is, it isn't. There are many factors that cannot be contributed to just the hard work that are going to affect your chances of success, and this is going to critically affect their mental health. And this is what we've already seen in today's society. We're seeing so many people that are now starting to give up because they've realized that all the hard work they've done have been shattered due to actions not caused by their own. Now, this leads to my second substantive point in which glorification of hard work wasn't the right way to teach and raise our children and for the rest of our society. It should have been acknowledgement of its importance. What we mean is that we do acknowledge on the affirming side of the house that hard work is an important aspect in order to achieve success, but it shouldn't be the only reason in which we have done so far. We should believe that hard work can get you to some point, but you shouldn't overwork yourselves, and we certainly shouldn't push our children to think the same way, because luck is a large aspect to how their success comes about. And if we have young children like our own who have worked extremely hard and don't get the success that they possibly deserve, it's going to be very devastating for their own individual development. And it is for this reason that we still regret raising our children aged 12 to 10 about glorifying hard work and not getting them to realize the importance of luck. We've just lost our spouse. There was nothing we could do about it. How can we simply just believe that all the hard work we've done from this marriage wasn't just it simply went down the drain? So this completely sidetracks from what we've been taught, that hard work can get you anything that you want, because we know from the context that this simply is not true. Luck doesn't follow any rules. It is simply something that happens by chance. And for this... Oh no, have I been debating for the wrong side the entire time? Or is this negating? Wait, what's the mood again? Oh yes, I was doing the right side. Okay, so the glorification of hard work isn't something that should have been done. It should have been acknowledgement of hard work, and we should have raised our children in which they can have the best of both sides, knowing the importance of luck, but still working hard, but not to the point where they're stressing themselves out and destroying their mental well-being. My third substantive point is that it's put an immense stress on our younger generations. We've seen a large increase in mental degradation within the younger generations, and we firmly believe on the affirming side of the house, and it is this mentality brought up by the older generation in which hard work was the only way to achieve their success. For this reason, we've had so many people raised up in schools who thought that they could study extremely hard and guaranteed that they're going to have success in the world, but this simply isn't true. And if you recall the example that we've already given, if every single person works hard and there's only one person who can have that success, there's going to be everybody else but one is going to feel devastated that their hard work didn't pay off. We're going to have such a competitive society, in which we already do have, that it's going to be so detrimental for everybody's mental health. And this is not something that should be continued. And for this reason, we firmly regret our decision to glorify hard work for our children. They must come to the realization at some point that luck has played an important aspect in how they've gained their success. And it wasn't just about hard work. If we continue to raise our children with only glorifying hard work, we're going to have them become extremely stressed. We're going to have them have terrible mental well-being, and in the future have horrible mental problems. We simply cannot accept glorifying hard work as the proper way we raised our child, and for this reason we firmly subsume with the mood. quite literally on the contrary to the affirming team. We don't believe that glorifying hard work has done anything for the work ethic for today's society. I am the first speaker of the negating team, and I will be here to prove to you why glorifying hard work was the best decision we've made in raising our children, and we must accept that they cannot rely on luck. We'd first like to start off with rebuttal. And this will be included in my first substantive point, in which actually relying on luck and thinking that it's an important aspect to our success creates an extremely unhealthy work ethic. My second substantive point is how luck undoubtedly exists and it only happens by chance and therefore shouldn't be something we rely on. The third substantive point is our world is only successful because of hard work. My first substantive point, which now contradicts the first point made by the affirming team. Extreme hard work is something that isn't unhealthy. It's something that should be glorified because this is the way that we can gain success. If we have people now believing that luck is the more important aspect to their success, we're going to raise extremely lazy people. And how can we have a functioning society when nobody wants to do the hard work to get what they want? They want to sit around, they want to play games and eat pizza and expect that everything is going to go their way. But this simply isn't true. Luck is a very small aspect to our success in life, and majority of how we gain success is fueled by our hard work. If we had not raised our children aged 12 and 10 to rely on their hard work, we would have seen them fail in school most likely, just expecting everything to be alright. But this isn't how the world works. Not every single person is extremely lucky. And this leaves me to my second substantive point. Luck exists, but it only happens by chance, and for this reason, we can't rely on it. We would essentially be raising our children to gamble their lives if they solely relied on luck and not hard work. It is important that we push through the heads of our children that hard work is the way to success, and it is the only way to success. Luck is something that happens simply by chance, and it can either be a small thing or it could be a big thing. But the fact is, without hard work, you wouldn't be able to get anywhere in life. And what we've seen from the affirming team is they've brought up this job example, which is inherently flawed. The fact is, it's not because they worked an equal amount and one just happened to be picked over the other. One person obviously worked harder than the others. They worked harder and that is why they got the job, not because they were unlucky. This simply is false. We can't let our children think that they can do less work than someone else, be less deserving than someone else, and still expected to have the same amount of success as that person. That's not how this world works. And it is for this reason that we cannot agree on the negating side of the house that we regret glorifying hard work. Luck is uncontrollable, and to have us continue, or at least begin to raise our children relying on something that is controllable doesn't make any sense at all. If it's uncontrollable, then how can we bend it for our success? We'd be sitting ducks waiting and waiting. But hard work almost guarantees your success. It is a way to gain a reward for what you have done, and that is something that is a very important part of raising our children. We shouldn't raise them to be rewarded for doing nothing. Success is a reward for your hard work, and if children begin to believe that they can be rewarded or gifted success without doing the hard work, then again, we're going to see very lazy citizens in our society, which simply can't function. And this leads me to my third substantive point, in which our world is successful because of hard work. The only reason we've had such technological advancements in the past century is because we've had extremely hard working people. Yes, some inventions that have saved lives and some inventions that have been extremely brilliant were because of luck. But they wouldn't have got to that point in their lives without hard work. And this is an indisputable fact that the opposing team simply cannot ignore. They wouldn't have any person who would have made those inventions didn't just stumble upon it and then realize, this is a mind-blowing invention. They worked hard to get to their positions, in which then they stumbled on to their brilliant invention, in which they had to work hard to see those sort of inventions and those sort of advancements come to life. And that is something that the opposing team cannot ignore. The fact is, if we look at an example such as the pandemic, if we had just waited for things to get better, this simply would have just allowed more and more people to die. If we didn't try to make a vaccine, if we didn't try to stop, if we didn't try to wear masks, if we didn't try to stay far away from each other in order not to spread the virus, then this would have meant that thousands of people would have died. If we all relied on luck as the most important part of our survival, then a large amount of people would have died already. Imagine if people around the world didn't believe in hard work, and so they only bought lottery tickets waiting for their luck and chance in order to give them success in the world. We'd have thousands and thousands and millions more homeless people and people in poverty because of this horrible mentality. This situation is extremely delicate, but we do acknowledge on the negating side of the house that luck does play a somewhat minute amount of importance in factoring into how people gain success, but it is driven by hard work. 99% of the reason people are successful is because of the hard work that they have done, not because of how lucky they got. It is even after they get lucky, they still must work hard in order to maintain that success. And it is for this reason we don't regret the glorification of hard work in any way, shape, or form, for three reasons. First, because it creates an extremely unhealthy work ethic. Had we allowed our children to think luck was the way to success. Our second substantive point was how luck undoubtedly exists and is only happening by chance, and therefore should not be reliable and is an incontrollable variable. And my third substantive point was on how our world is only successful because of hard work. Thank you. is my job as the second/third speaker of the Affirming House to present our 3 points of clash and prove today why we have won this debate. My first point of clash is about how whether raising our children to glorified hard work has created a healthy or unhealthy work ethic in today's society. My second point of clash is the societal effects of glorifying hard work, and would have it been better if our society had been raised up believing that luck is a more important aspect to our lives. And my third point of clash, and how this has affected our children individually. As someone who is a recent D4C, I'm extremely sad and I'm extremely frustrated. I don't want to rely on my hard work any longer because simply it's gotten me nowhere. Being able to rely and think that I will get lucky at some point is a critical and crucial point in my life because it shows that I now am no longer a slave to a capitalistic society. I no longer want to work extremely hard just for it all to be ripped away from me when I could work a much more smaller amount and still have the same success because of luck. Now, the work ethic is arguably one of the most debatable points and presented during today's debate. We've heard from the negating team that it will create a society in which people are extremely lazy. But if they recall, we already said on the affirming side of the house that we don't believe hard work is completely thrown out of the picture when in order to get success. We only believe that it is a smaller amount of how we get there. Many people think that they worked extremely hard to get in their positions, but the fact is they just got lucky. For example, someone is born in poverty and someone is born rich. The person born in poverty doesn't have the resources to do what they want, to study as much as they want, but the person who is rich and born into a rich and wealthy family does, and they work extremely hard as well, equally to the amount of the poor person. Now, the rich person becomes extremely successful because of their hard work, but the poor person doesn't, because their hard work was put in helping their families and less on the actual studies in order to get the career that they want. Now, you cannot tell me that this is all because the other rich and wealthy person was only got that job because they worked harder. They simply didn't. The only factor behind why they got the job was because they got lucky in getting birth into a wealthy family, while the poor person didn't. And this is a reason why we should rely, and we should have taught our children to rely more on luck. It's because of situations like these. People who think hard work is the only way they can get success will be extremely devastated when they realize that simply isn't true. I have presented how the work ethic is extremely toxic, and how if we continue to raise our children in grinding away at their work, they're going to be extremely stressed by the time they enter adulthood and probably are not going to be enjoying their lives when one thing goes wrong. And it is for this reason that we have won this point of clash. My second point of clash is the societal effects of raising our children to glorify hard work. We're seeing mental illness increasing exponentially as more people come onto this earth, and it is because the illusion that hard work is the only way to get success and is a guaranteed way to get success is an extremely flawed mentality. We've already said that there are many variables that are not considered when looking at how you get your success, and this is what we call luck. It is not just your hard work. And for this reason, we've had so many people who are going to be extremely devastated, disappointed, and gaining more mental issues because they can't accept the fact that they were just unlucky. They need to accept it, and we should have raised our children to accept the fact that luck is an important aspect to how people gain success in life. It can't just be relied on hard work, because at the end of the day, there are going to be factors that are out of our control that influence our lives. It is for this reason that we cannot agree that hard work has created a society in which people are very, very happy because of the hard work they've done. Most people aren't, because they think that there is nothing else, that the only reason they think that there's still so much more they could have done, and they keep working and working and working their entire lives until they never reach that goal because they simply weren't lucky. They need to realize that there is a point in their lives which can only be decided by luck and nothing else. It is like if you worked extremely hard and someone else didn't, and they got everything by luck. How would you feel? That'd make you feel extremely terrible, and it's just like the situation we have just been in which everything happened better for someone due to luck. We're left devastated, we're left crushed, and we cannot see this happen for our children. We must protect them in the best way we can by assuring that we regret glorifying hard work and changing our ways and making sure that they accept luck as a reasonable influence for their success. And it's for this reason we've won how society has been affected by glorifying hard work. The third point of clash I've identified within today's debate is how this has affected our children individually. Especially at a young age, people are very vulnerable to their raw and unrefined emotions. If they work extremely hard and don't get the success that they think they deserve because other people got more lucky, then they're going to be brought up in a mindset which critically endangers their mental well-being. I've seen it firsthand at school many times, where hard-working academics have their achievements stripped away from them simply because they got unlucky. Perhaps they got sick during a test or something of the other, something that they could completely not control, and they believe that it was because they didn't work hard enough. But that simply isn't right, and we should teach our children, and we regret glorifying hard work, and luck is an important aspect of their lives. The first step in improving their mental well-being is accepting that luck is an important part of their success. Once they've accepted it, they can still work hard, yes, but they shouldn't think that it's the only reason that they can have success, because when they don't get that success in one way or another, they're going to be devastated, and they're going to be built into people who think just like us, think that everything went wrong just because of luck. But that isn't the way we should look at it. We should only be looking at it as a way in which good luck can affect us in working with hard work. We've proved today's burden in which, through our 3 points of clash and our 3 substantives, that hard work wasn't the best option in raising our children, and we firmly regret it for the 3 substantive points of how it has created a toxic working ethic. It has not been accepted as an important aspect of our lives, and except glorified, and hard work has been glorified and not accepted. And our third substantive point was how it puts immense stress on our younger generations. We have won all 3 points of clash, and we've been able to prove to you today how our children will be negatively affected because of us raising them to glorify hard work. Our children will end up just like us, crushed and at the bottom of the world, because they have done everything they could to secure a successful life, but it's been stripped away because of luck. The first step is acceptance, and this is something we regret not teaching to our children. Proud to subsume with the mood. I have identified 3 points of clash within today's debate. The first point of clash is that when we allow our children to not think hard work is the way to success, we create a society in which the work ethic is extremely lazy, and which is the complete opposite of the narrative the affirming team wants us to believe. The second point of clash I've identified within today's debate is the societal benefits that we've seen because of the way we've raised our children, because of the fact that we've taught them that hard work is the way to gain success. And my third point of clash I've identified within today's debate is that luck a big or a small part of our success, and how it plays into it. The first point of clash, we've heard from the affirming team that non-acknowledgement of luck has allowed our generations and our futures ahead of us to become extremely devastated and overwhelmed by mental illness. This is something that's inherently flawed. Mental illnesses are not caused because, well, at a majority, because people are devastated because they didn't get to the positions of their hard work. It's caused because people think that they are just unlucky. They think the world is against them. That is why people actually have mental issues. That's why we should raise our children in order to believe that they will work hard to get their success. And when they do, they will feel immense pleasure because they've realized all the work that they have done was good and it was worth something. And that's why they were rewarded with success, not because they were lucky. If they did it and they realized it was all because of luck, they wouldn't be fulfilled in any way, shape, or form. They would know deep in their hearts that they weren't deserving of the success, that someone else out there deserved it much more than them, letting them live an unfulfilling life. And it is for this reason that we firmly believe that the work ethic would have been extremely lazy in our society had people only relied on luck. This leads me to my second point of clash, in which the societal benefits were immense by allowing children to think that hard work was the way to success. We have seen a large exponential growth in academically inclined students and people throughout the years. We're gaining new technological advancements that could never even have been imagined a few decades before. And this is all because people are hard working. And it's not because they stumbled upon an idea already explained by our first speaker. It's because they worked hard on what they believed in, and this has created many advancements for our society. This is a fact that the affirming team cannot ignore. It is because of hard-working people, and it is because we've raised our children aged 12 and 10 that hard work is a positive benefit for us and for society. If every single person was hardworking, then every single person would have success, and every single person would be happy. This is an indisputable fact that the opposing team simply cannot ignore any longer, and it is for this reason we believe on the negating side of the house that societal benefits have been overwhelming because we glorified hard work and we did not rely on something as uncontrollable as luck. My third point of clash. Is luck a big or a small part or a big or small factor in how people gain success? And on our side of the house, we firmly believe that luck is a very small and minute, possibly even negligible amount of a negligible factor in how we gain our success. And it is for these reasons. It is because hard work is actually you improving yourself in order to gain your success. Luck isn't. You're not improving on yourself at all. You're sitting and you're waiting for something to happen. And these things only happen by chance. And nothing can happen by chance if you don't go out and do something. For example, if you sit on your couch and just wait for you to become a billionaire, it's not going to happen because that's not how the world works. You don't just get lucky and something magically appears in which you become extremely successful. You still have to go out into the world, work hard, and perhaps you'll be rewarded with success. And on that success is a sprinkling of luck which improves that success. This is something that the affirming team cannot ignore any longer, and it is the fact that hard work is the only way that you might even be able to get luck into your success. It is the driving factor in how people are successful in the world, in how our society has so many technological advancements in such a short amount of time. It is how we don't have an unhealthy and lazy work ethic today. And it is because of all of these reasons that we firmly believe on the negating side of the house that we shouldn't have our children, and we should not regret raising our children in a way that makes them believe that luck was the only factor in order to gain them success. We have seen ourselves hit in the core. We've seen ourselves at our lowest moments where our wives have left them. We cannot just let our children think that this is what's going to happen to them. If they see us not working hard in order to gain success, they're going to be deadbeat children that don't have anything to live for, because they're gonna think, look at our dad, he just got unlucky, so why should we even bother trying? Is that really how we want to raise our children? Raising them in such a mentality that makes them think nothing good will ever come to them? And that is the driving factor to the mental illnesses that the affirming team speaks of, not because of glorifying hard work. We've proved to you today through our substantive points and through winning all 30 points of clash in how glorifying hard work was the key to our success for our children, for our society, and for everyone. It wasn't because of luck. We're proud to anti-subsume with the moot.